everybody, I mean, even the babe on the breast by now should have heard about media personality Twitch who ended his life earlier this week. And I don't know that there's, I mean, well, really, there's a lot going around, and the question I think on the minds of many is, but we didn't, I mean, how come we didn't see anything? And it's probably even more painful for the persons who had to interact with him on a daily basis. No, all right, he's gone. Twitch is gone. There's really nothing that anybody can do about him at this stage. And the many others before him who opted to use a similar method to exit this world, they're all gone. But my concern really is about those of us who are left behind. In some cases, to pick up the pieces. In some cases, to feel very guilty because they probably, saying to themselves, oh, but we should have seen this or we should have seen that. But there's this thing called, or a term, and it's not my term, but there's this term known as functional depression. And I've come to the realization that there are many functionally depressed people around. They look okay. They look like everything is together. They look like they've got it all together. They smile at the right time. They say the right things. They put out this facade that effectively fools the public. And on the inside, while they're busy fooling the public, they are dying a slow, agonizing, painful death. And I dare say that Twitch was probably in the same position. And I go back a little further to the young lady who was what, Miss America or something, or Miss Universe or something to that effect. It don't really matter right now. But she lived on the 19th floor and traveled all the way to the 29th floor and took a dive. And like I said, my concern is not so much about those persons, but more about those of us who are left behind. And then, we each have to ask ourselves this question. How much of a friend, how much of a friend was this person or that person to the deceased? Because now people are going to come up and say, oh, he was wonderful, he was this, he was that, or she was this and she was that, and she always had a smile and she always made us feel good. But who was there to make that person feel good? Who was there to be the confidant for that person? Who was there when that person was really at his or her lowest point? Who was there for that person? Because from the look of things, nobody. And it is an opportunity. Each time somebody takes a dive, puts a gun to his or her head and pulls the trigger, we who are left behind have to ask ourselves, Where did I fall short? Where did I fail to live up to my title as friend? I mean, truth be told, if we look back, sometimes we can see even a glimpse of something that wasn't entirely correct. Something was amiss at some point, but we let it slide. Maybe we let it slide because we are busy with our own lives. We're busy with our own cares, and maybe in some way we hinted at just how busy we were, and the person just shut down. So instead of being of feeling comfortable enough to share how they're feeling, share their struggles, they shut down. And then when they take the final move and just call it a day, then we're looking back and saying, oh, but I did see this, or I did see that, or one time he or she did say something to me, but I didn't really take it for anything. Guess what? Whether we want to believe it or not, and I know it sounds harsh, I know it sounds cruel, but we have blood on our hands. Collectively, we have blood on our hands. Yeah, we're because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, I don't have a lot of friends, and the older I get, the less I have. But I would be, I'd be absolutely torn. I'd be devastated. I would be unconsolable if unconsolable, inconsolable, whatever. If I have a friend who didn't see me as enough of a friend, didn't see me as enough of a support, didn't see me as enough of a of somebody that they could rely on, and found and thought that the only way out of whatever the mess is would be to just call it quits. And when you think about it, if, as the reports say, took the Uber, went to this to the place, motel, hotel, whatever, there's time. There's time. And even in that span of time from point A to point B, he never felt that there was even one person that he could call on. If any of my friends should ever find themselves in that situation and didn't think that they could call me, wake me up out of my deepest sleep and say, look, this is happening to me, this is how I'm feeling. If any of my friends don't feel that connection and don't feel that I can play that role in their lives, then guess what? We're not friends. We're not friends. Uh-uh. We're not friends. Stop walking and tell people that you and I are friends. We're not friends. Because it's an indictment on me, I think. If my friend doesn't feel that connected or that comfortable with me. And who are the biggest set of people who are functionally depressed? Church people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Church people. Hi, sister so and so. Hi, brother so and so. How are you? How you doing? Oh, blessed and highly favored. I say every time I hear somebody with blessed and highly favored, I just want to butt them over. No, you don't feel blessed and highly favored. You feel frustrated. You feel exhausted. You feel angry. And let me tell you something. We're not, we have not even begun to feel the full effects of what COVID has done to us mentally, emotionally. You think it's a mental illness yet? Ain't seen nothing yet. There's so much more to come. So, you know, we get up on a weekend morning, Saturday, Sunday, whatever it is, and we get dressed, and we're beautiful. We're in our finery, the latest and the sharpest, and we jump in our cars and we drive to church or take the bus, whatever, and we're very active in church. We're on this committee, we're on that committee, we're on this committee, we're ahead of this and that, and every time there's a call for you to serve, yes, you're right there, up and about and doing it, and you are broken and you are shattered and you are agonizing on the inside. And yet when somebody says to you, how are you, instead of saying honestly, I'm putting my best face forward, you know, I really don't feel great. I really there's a lot on my mind. And I mean, nobody's asked you to tell them your business. It's not about telling people your business, but it's about being brutally honest without going all the way. So you say, all isn't well, but I'm putting my best foot forward. It's not something I want to discuss right now. It's not something I even have the words to describe. But when you pray, just remember me. That's it. That's it. But no, we come with our functionally depressed selves. We're aching. We have financial problems, some of us. We have issues at work, some of us. Some of us have husband problems, some have wife problems, some just have a general man problem. You have problems with your children, you have problems with your parents. Some of us are caught, we're sandwiched. We're sandwich children because we have elderly parents to look after and our own children to look after. And somewhere in the mix, we get lost. Functionally depressed. That's what we are. Too many of us. Way too many of us. And what happens to functionally depressed people when it gets to the stage where they just can't function, they can't manage, they can't deal with it, they can't anything, they just throw in the towel. Yeah, just throw in the towel and just call life a day. I just want to put it out there, and especially for black people. You know, black people have a thing with getting help, getting mental help, getting help for mental challenges. Black people, especially men, like to say with all the pride in the world, Uh, we don't do therapy. Well, you see what happens when you don't do therapy? Yeah. You see what happens when you have things you've been carrying from way back, things you've been sweeping under the rug from way back, and when these things catch up with you, and they will, mm-hmm, they will. Don't think, don't think for a minute, not for a hot second. Don't think that you can outrun life. You can't. Oh no, it catches up with you. It catches up with you. It catches up with me. It catches up with all of us at some point. And then you just clock out. You just put in your time card because you've had enough. Well, look, I don't know who will see this. I don't know who who needs to hear this. But there is no trophy for being functionally depressed. It's a heavy burden, and nobody has to carry that by himself, by herself. If you need help, get it. Get professional help. Get professional help. And you notice I'm not saying to you go and pray. I'm not going to tell anybody to go and pray, because when sometimes when life gets to you, and when life starts to wrap tightly around your neck and your heart and your vital organs, you don't even have the strength to pray. But then that is where your friends come in. Because you must have somebody, even one person, you can pick up the phone and call and say, look here, I don't want to go into the details, but pray for me. And believe you me, especially these days, if I see a written request come in on my phone, or if I'm in a conversation with someone and somebody just says, oh, pray for so and so, pray for so and so, I I stop what I'm doing immediately and I just get on the case. Yes, I do it right away. Half of the time I don't know what the problem is, and I don't care. I don't need to know. I just drop what I'm doing and I say, Lord, so and so needs you. I don't know what the situation is. You know. And it might have taken me by surprise, it might have taken other people by surprise, but you knew from the beginning of time that this day was coming. And you have a solution somewhere. And you have somebody who you're going to use to be the solution. Do you know what is my prayer these days? Well, not just these days, for quite some time now. My prayer every day is, Lord, help me. Use me, rather. Use me to be the solution to somebody's problem today. That's it. Help me to say something that changes a situation in somebody's life. Help me to say something. Help me to do something. It can be just that I smile at somebody. That can change something. I say hello to someone. You never know the full impact of your hellos, your highs, your how you doing to somebody. I mean, when I got to work and I was in, I'm here. You think they didn't see that I'm here? Of course, everybody sees, but that's just me. I just like to make a grand entrance. I'm here. Yes. I don't know what it does for anybody. It might do something for somebody. It might not. But who knows? And all I'm praying is today, use me. Use me to be this solution. Use me to help somebody want to make it for even one more day. And I can't tell you that I know that it's effective every day, but I am willing to bet that there have been days when I've made a difference in somebody's life. So the onus, I'm saying all of this to say, the onus is on you and me, we who are left behind, to really, really be our brother's keeper. Take the time to not just say you're friends with someone, but to actually be a friend. Because especially when you look at a situation like this one now with Twitch, and you think financially he's secure, family wise he seems to have a pretty chill family there. So the things that bother the rest of us, like money, relationships and so on, didn't seem to be his problems. But he had problems. The young lady who jumped off the 29th floor, she had problems. And you go back and you look at other people who had problems, and for them that was the only way out. Now, some people say depression is a hormonal thing, and it is for some. Others say depression is chemical imbalance, and it is for some. There are others still who say depression is a spiritual thing, and for some it is. Others say depression is, and I guess this kind of ties in with the spiritual thing, it's demonic. And guess what? For some, it is. Straight from the pit of hell for some. But whatever it is, it is all of those and none for some. But whatever it is, whatever the cause, it pains me. It pains me. And like I said, if this should happen to any of my friends, I would feel, as we say, wretched. I would feel wretched. I would just be ready to fall apart, to think that I was not considered enough of a friend. I was not considered, I didn't make this person in my life feel valued, because that's what it is. When you have people all around you, and you're interacting with people, and the people that you're interacting with do not feel valued enough so that they can come to you and say, I'm hurting. Or you don't have the discerning spirit to see that this person is hurting. And so he or she exits this life. with way more grandeur than they entered. Now, it's on you, it's on me. We are responsible. I may not have known Twitch beyond the TV screen. And there are many other persons that I never ever knew about until they departed. And what I find in many cases is that money was never the concern of all of these all of these persons who departed. It was never money. They were all financially comfortable. So it's always something else. It's always something deeper, you know, way deeper. So I'm putting this out there. If any of my friends are trying to fool the crowd by being functionally depressed, cut it out. Cut it out. I don't tell you I'm a professional, and sometimes, yeah, you do need professional help, but other times, guess what, you don't need professional help for everything. There are just times when you just need a listening ear. Well, let me tell you something. If I cannot do anything else on God's green earth, I listen. I'm an expert listener. So please, to those whom I know, to those I know not, you don't have to carry the burden. You do not have to carry the burden of being functionally depressed. Lay it down. Lay it down. If you need somebody to talk with, please reach out. You need somebody to pray for you, please reach out. As a matter of fact, guess what? In the section down below, comment section, if you need me to pray for you, you just write it. I don't need to know what your problem is. Just let me know that you need somebody to pray for you. I'll pray. Don't cost me anything. I spend time doing all sort of other foolish things. So it won't take anything off me to pray for you. And I sincerely hope that somebody who might be thinking of exiting will hear this and have a change of heart. Like I said, I'm an excellent listener. And I don't mind, as the song says, I'll be praying for you. Yes, I'll be praying for you. Pray that all your hopes and dreams will finally come true. And to my brethren, and as my people say, sistrins, wherever on this globe, wherever on this terra firma that you are, don't give up. Don't give up. I know that there are many times when it is easier said than done, but don't give up. Help is on the way. There's another side to all of this. There is another side to all of this. When you look at the moon, and it's shining at nights, because, you know, it's night on this side. But for another part of the earth, it's daylight. Bright, brilliant daylight. So there's always another side. There's a dark side and the bright side. There's another side to all of this. And I pray the peace of God upon all who will listen to this. You don't have to be functionally depressed. You don't have to do this alone. Reach out to professionals, professional agencies. Reach out to even one true friend. And for those of you who do not want to be doing like the relatives and friends of Twitch right now and asking, but how could I have missed this? How could I? Open your eyes, open on your eye wide now, and start looking at the people in your lives. Start looking at those around you and see, ask prayerfully that the scales will fall off your eyes and that you will be able to see the pain of those around you. So having said my little piece, I am taking my leave. I didn't even plan to stay this long, really. As it was just supposed to be a hop on and hop off without the benefit of editing and all of those glamorous things. But my heart is pained. My heart is pained because somewhere, those of his friends who are alive dropped the ball. And I don't want to be the person who drops the ball for any friend of mine. So until such time, when I come back with something else, and I have other stuff to come back with, but this one just rested heavily on me. Take care.